And the reports that I'm looking at are a blog about my 55 years work of creating 14,000 natural remedies in 55 years and being chased around and harassed and hounded by our government who is into drugs, and they're so wacky. They call herbs drugs. Yes, the herb is a food, but they want to rule over the food supply and drive up the cost of it because they're the federal government. That's what they do. They're nuts, and they're called the FDA, and that's what they do, and that's what they did to me. And so I don't own anything. I don't get anything from the sale of any product. And because I do that, then they're not going to attack me, they claim. So they attack my family instead. That's right. That's what they're doing right now. They're there at betterhealthherbs.com, trying to disrupt the business, trying to stop the owner, my granddaughter, from helping people. And then when somebody walks through the door, they see somebody there with an FDA jacket on, and they turn around and walk away. They're trying to drive away the business. It's a ministry, and we help people. And people do, come in from all over the place, and they order from everywhere and all over the world because these products really do work. And they keep the prices down because they're a ministry. And they help people at no charge, and we've always helped people at no charge. So don't have to pay for a consultation. That's what we do. That's why it's a not-for-profit ministry. Is we do all of these things to help people, make sure that they get helped. And then if they say, I can't afford it, I'm on a fixed income, I'm elderly, they give them a discount. Can't we? Because it's them. I don't get it. I'm not part of them, because if I was part of them, then they would attack them and me and continue to do their dirty business. But anyway, that's just our FDA. That's our government, and that's what they do. They're for special interests. The government is run on special interests. It's not run on the little guy. It's not run on somebody that's trying to do good. It's run on somebody who has a whole bunch of money who can give these politicians some of it so that they will do their bidding. And that's why America is a mess. A mess because it's all that kind of money that have paid for people to kill you, like Monsanto. And the FDA to restrict your ability to get natural remedies. You can't look on the label of a natural remedy and say, oh, this one's for diabetes. Oh, this one's for health. For this one's for high blood pressure. No way. It's not going to say anything on it. You can't. This is America, and it's ruled by an evil FDA who won't even let you know what's in the bottle. That's right. Unless it's a drug, then they're going to tell you it's absolutely wonderful, except it's got 10,000 side effects and will kill you. And by the way, when it does, then you got to go see that attorney because that attorney handles those lawsuits, and there's plenty of them because their drugs are poison. And this is the medicine that God made. This is natural remedies. This is what works, and this is what don't have side effects and won't kill you. And that's why the FDA won't let you find out about it or have it and without driving up the cost so that they can, sell their poison drugs. So that's the way that goes. I'm looking at this report on herbalhealthreview.com. herbalhealthreview.com. I'm looking at this report, and it's all about menopause because under common conditions are all these reports, and under discoveries in health is a copy of last week's video And there'll be a copy of this video on there as well. So there you go. And that's how we do that. So there we are. And we're looking at the menopause report. And it says that there is a menopause formula of herbs that is the most used natural herbal, or the natural herbs used for when there's menopause. And it's formula number 1291, a menopause formula. Well, you can't call it a menopause formula on the label. You have to just call it formula number 1291 because you're not supposed to be able to know what it is or that it has any value at all. As far as the FDA is concerned, herbs have no value, and if you say they do, that makes them a drug. Then they get to fine you to death, which is what they did to me. Only I didn't die. They did. I lost my home of 20 years. I lost everything, and went into a vow of poverty. And I was already in a vow of poverty. I did have a home, but I don't have a home anymore. But anyway, so that's the menopause formula. And that formula, number 1291. Yes, go ahead. Did you have a question? I thought I heard somebody say something. If you do have a question, you can chime in right now. I will answer your question specifically. Yes. Yes. I wanted to share my testimony about the menopause. Yes. I was going through menopause, and I decided to drink it the 2 days back. Yes. I no longer have menopause. Bingo. My blood are very things. So I just wanted to put that out there for anyone else that's having menopause, going through menopause. Since I've been drinking the juice, I no longer have menopause. Well, see, and folks, that's the way that it goes. And this isn't just an unusual situation. This is normal. This is normal when you feed the body and you give it the right nutrients. And that was True Age Max, is that right? Yes, sir. True Age Max. So I'm going to pull that up on the screen. We'll look at that. There it is. There's the True Age Max. And it tells us that True Age Max, there's no secret. It has a lot of health benefits. And after all, it does contain hundreds of different bioactives. The most potent one being iridoids. Those iridoids, they're phytochemicals that are produced by plants. And they help fight off infections and other health threats that may arise. And True Age Max, well, can you imagine iridoids are extremely powerful. They have been proven over and over again to improve the overall health and the function of the human biological system. And here's a few things about it. AGE stands for Advanced Glycation End Products. And they can be very destructive. And they are chemical compounds that form when you have too much sugar in your system. Sugar is an enemy to the body. It's too acid. It drives your body acid. Cancer lives on sugar. Take away the sugar and the cancer has a tough time trying to stay alive in your body. The surplus sugar molecules. Did not know about the ad going out on HealthWise. Even though it didn't say this is a treatment, I linked us in. All right, I'm going to mute the mics because accidentally we got a mic open and we were hearing somebody. So we're going to give them their privacy and we'll continue talking about what True Age Max is and what it does, because people are getting benefits from it and you need to know about it. So That AGE stands for advanced glycation end products, and they can be very destructive. And as we said, they are chemical compounds that form when you have too much sugar in your system. And the surplus sugar molecules will combine with the protein and lipid molecules in your body. The problem is it doesn't combine the right way. As a result, bad things happen. So the True Age Max helps inhibit the AGEs by preventing them from forming. And that's the number one benefit from True Age Max and the AGEs. The number two benefit, it promotes healthy blood vessels. Research has shown iridoids found in the True Age Max have the ability to help your body recognize blood vessels that aren't normal. And abnormal blood vessels can cause unhealthy cell growth. And the True Age Max helps to inhibit the formation of unhealthy blood vessels, which helps promote healthy blood vessels. So that's the second benefit, promotes healthy blood vessels. The third benefit, and there are many, but we're just going to hit about 4 or 5 of them here. And the third, well, it helps with inflammation. True Age Max helps improve, it's kind of like turmeric and MSM powder. All of these are natural anti-inflammatories. I created a product called Joint Care with 68 different herbs in it that just wipes out aches and pains and arthritis pains and so forth. It works perfectly. Worked for me, works for many other people. They keep telling me, wow, I didn't think it could work that fast, that good. And that's what I said when I finally, after 7 years, was able to create it. But anyway, helping with inflammation, that number 1043 Joint Care formula is great, but so is the True Age Max, because it helps improve the natural response that your body has to inflammation with the iridoids and that inhibit the production of enzymes that cause unhealthy inflammation. When your body has a healthy inflammatory response, you will experience an overall improvement in your health. Now, the fourth main benefit from True Age Max and all these iridoids are that it gives your immune system a boost. And there have been many studies that show the positive effects of True Age Max can have on your immune system. As a matter of fact, one study showed adults who drank True Age Max for a period of 2 months have a 30% increase in natural killer cell activity. That's important. This is important as natural killer cell activity in your immune systems. First, it's your first line of defense against a variety of different illnesses. And finally, the True Age Max gives you energy and endurance, which will help you get over all kinds of problems. That's why it's so beneficial, because doing all of these things in concert, all of a sudden your body says, wow, okay, I can go back to work. I can use my own God-given ability to heal myself. That's what the body starts to say. So, True Age Max is a natural energy and endurance booster. It doesn't have the usually side effects you'll find in other drinks designed to give you an energy boost. In a clinical trial done on 40 professional distance runners, the results were pretty amazing. It showed that after only 3 weeks of drinking True Age Max, the average runner had a 21% increase in endurance. Now, the same thing happened with other energy levels. You know, after just a few short weeks, people felt more energized and more active. And it's really amazing that this powerful little drink, what it can do. Besides the 5 benefits I just mentioned, it can also help with heart health, joint health, brain function, protection against free radicals, help with the circulation, and a lot of other things. It's basically a bottle of good health. And when people drink it, they feel better from the inside out. That's True Age Max. So that's a little bit about it. And I wanted to share that with you. Back over to back over to this menopause report, because there's a lot of support that you can get. You know, maybe something's not working fast enough. Maybe something worked for somebody else, but it's not working for you. That isn't the end. No. That's why for 55 years I've created formulation after formulation after formulation. Because when somebody tells me, I'm sorry, that didn't work for me, it worked for my sister, but it didn't work for me, then I create something that works for them. And it goes on and on and on. Because when people ask me a question, you know, like, what's good for multiple sclerosis? I never forget. I keep doing research. I keep looking as I'm going through other research. And a flag goes up if I'm looking for something and I'm looking at menopause and so forth, and all of a sudden I see something for multiple sclerosis, the flag goes up. And then I look at that report and I discern whether it's whether they're telling the truth or not. And if I feel it's truthful, scientifically backed up information, then I publish it. And that's how these things make it to my report. They don't make it into the report unless I know that they really, really work. So, and talking about multiple sclerosis, I just found some additional research that gave me a greater insight on multiple sclerosis, finding out that actually multiple sclerosis is caused by Lyme disease. So I rewrote my multiple sclerosis report yesterday, and I created all the natural remedies in there and links to them for Lyme disease and multiple sclerosis. So now I'm looking for one of my friends like Jackie. Jackie, if we were in Google right now, she'd be probably in the Google Hangouts. But the Google Hangouts, when I tried to bring it up, it brought it up twice. And finally, I found that it did bring it up twice, but I was getting an echo and it wasn't working. And I finally got out of both of them. And just Google Hangouts is not an easy program to try to bring up and to work with. But anyway, so that's why I'm not in Google Hangouts at the moment. But if I was, Jackie would be there. Then she'd find out that I made a breakthrough on remedies for multiple sclerosis. So I hope she joins us next week, and I hope I get Google Hangouts going so that I can share that information so that she can get some relief from multiple sclerosis. Now, continuing, we talked about a menopause formula, number 1291, and it may be used instead of progesterone cream, or progesterone cream if it fails to give you the results needed for balance. Let's use that menopause formula. If there's an estrogen balance problem, well, there's a formula here, number 1165. used to be called estrogen balance, but the FDA didn't like that because they thought you might figure out what it was good for. So they said, you just have to name it 1165. So it's not named estrogen balance anymore. It's named 1165, so nobody can figure out what it's really good for, except that it does have list all the ingredients. So if you're an herbalist, you'd know. But if you're not, then you're going to say, well, I have no idea what this little bottle 1165 is good for. And then the FDA cackles in the corner and knows that they have prevented somebody from getting help. And they're very happy when they do that. And then they come back and figure out what else they can do to make it impossible for you to find out about natural remedies. So that's an estrogen balance formula, number 1165. It promotes hormonal balance. It's effective for women who are experiencing menopause. It does not contain hormones. It contains phytoestrogens. And what these phytoplant estrogens do is they grab the site where the poison estrogens that your body makes, these really strong estrogens. And then people get hot flashes and they get reactions and everything and so forth because their body is making all these powerful estrogens. Well, then along comes these plant type estrogens and it fills the spot. And the body says, wow, those are soft and those aren't poisonous. So it works just fine. And that's why these work instead of chemical poisons, because they're softer. The body then is busy with the plant phytoestrogens and it can't be poisoned by the harmful estrogens that the body is trying to make, or chemical estrogens that might be poisoning you as well. So that's how that works. Then there's chaste tree berries. And chaste tree berry, well known for its balancing effect to the female reproductive system and hormones. Research indicates that chaste tree berry, also called Castus vitex, or just vitex, chaste tree berry. What it does, it has an ability to increase the production of the luteinizing hormone, the LH, and the prolactin, and it is used to stimulate milk flow. And chaste tree berry is used to regulate the menstrual cycle when there is excessive bleeding or too frequent or prolonged menstruation. Chaste tree berry is also found to benefit both PMS and menopausal symptoms. And there's other things that there's a complete fibroid and fibrosis report, number 1019. So if there's fibroids, you can, in this report, you'll click on fibrosis, and it'll take you over to the fibroid report, so you'll be able to know the natural remedies for fibroids. And fibrosis, inflammation of the womb lining, and low energy and cramping and fibroid cysts and uterine healing after childbirth and rebalancing after a discontinued use of contraceptive pill and for a folk use suggests that chaste tree berry, because we're still on chaste tree berry, its use suggests in folk medicine that it is an aphrodisiac for men. So it gives men more sexual energy. And chaste tree berry works mainly through the pituitary gland, and it is useful to promote fertility in women. So it's a great herb. Oh, and it balances boys and girls going through puberty. So if you've got a youngster, they're starting to go through puberty, and maybe they're not themselves, and they really, they're agitated or whatever, give them some chaste tree berry. It'll straighten them out. And that's how chaste tree berry works. Then when there's menopause and hormonal disorders, there are 6 different ginsengs. I combined them all. The American ginseng, the Korean ginseng, the Japanese ginseng, and Brazilian ginseng, and others as well, and pseudo ginsengs, like Eleutherococcus senticosus, also known as Siberian ginseng, but they don't call it Siberian ginseng anymore because it isn't a true ginseng. It's a pseudo ginseng that gives you stamina and endurance. Well, anyway, it works pretty good. So all of these are combined together in a tincture extract. Now, these ginsengs are considered to be some of the best tonics. They protect against radiation damage, and we need that these days since the Japanese government and the American government don't care whether you get radiated to death or not. They're not going to do anything about Fukushima. They're going to just let that radiation pour out of there and can kill all the fish in the Pacific Ocean. I will no longer buy Pacific fish or seaweed. Who knows how much radiation it's got in it. Besides protecting you against radiation damage, these ginsengs help with stress, and fatigue, and high blood sugar. And the ginsengs increase endurance and balance hormones. And they are an adaptogen, an alterative, and a stimulant. They're considered to be the king of all tonics, as it provides stimulation to the entire body for stress and fatigue and weakness and deficiencies. So the ginsengs, it stimulates and improves the brain cells, and it is especially stimulating these 6 ginsengs, especially stimulating for mental fatigue. Ginseng, it works with the heart and the blood circulation, so it's helpful with normalizing blood pressure and reducing cholesterol and atherosclerosis. And these ginsengs, and it's number, what can I do it? Number 1195, number 1195. These ginsengs, they're nourishing to the blood and beneficial for anemia. And also, these ginsengs help to reduce blood sugar levels, and they are beneficial in treating diabetes. And other uses of ginsengs include as an antidote to toxic drugs and chemicals, and for protection against radiation. I already said that. Improvement of vision and hearing, and to help improve one's working ability as well as balancing to irritability. And for women with lowered resistance and deficiencies and hormonal imbalance. And finally, in our menopause report, it's talking about dong quai. Dong quai, a Chinese herb also known as Angelica sinensis. And it's second only to ginseng. That's right. If you can't find the ginseng, use some dong quai, or use dong quai instead of the ginseng, because it's a blood tonic. Dong quai, number 3332. 3332, dong quai Angelica sinensis is second only to ginseng. It is a blood tonic for women and a digestive stimulant. It is shown to assist the body in efficiently using hormones. It has been used for menstrual cramping and irregularity and delayed flow and period pain and weakness during menstruation. It is beneficial for dissolving blood clots and loosening tight muscles and increasing circulation and stopping internal bleeding and helping with nervousness and moistening to the intestines to help with constipation. It protects the liver, and it has an antibacterial action. So that is a little bit about menopause. And for the rest of the story on women's health issues, let's go back over to herbalhealthreview.com. herbalhealthreview.com on common conditions, and I'm going clear to the bottom of these reports. And I'm clicking on weight loss and bringing up weight loss. And wait a minute, I don't want weight loss. I want women's issues, just below weight loss. There it is. Women's health. That's what I wanted. Okay, now I'm almost there. Looking at women's health. And again, it's talking about a menopause formula number 1291. And it's talking about another formula, number 1351, that helps correct hormonal imbalance. And it talks about another formula for hormonal balance. If the first two don't work or you need more help, there's more. That's number 1165 that promotes hormonal balance. Then there's number 3230, which is the chase tree berry, which we already mentioned. There's the 1195 ginsengs, which we already mentioned. There's the dong quai, number 3332. Then below that, on women's, so it kind of touches on the menopausal herbs and the estrogen progesterone balancing herbs. It talks about that. And then it gets into pregnancy in the women's health department. And it talks about number 1237. It's a formula to increase fertility in both men and women. That's right. Number 1237. I have stories to tell you about that. It totally amazed me about 30 years ago when all of a sudden I hit on the combination of herbs and diet that when a woman would use it, she got pregnant. Yeah, I know that's a lot to say, isn't it? But it worked. So had this one woman who came to me, and she hadn't been able to get pregnant for, I think it was about 11 years. And she was pregnant in 90 days. And so she said, okay. She says, my sister in Arizona has been trying to get pregnant for 17 years. And I want you to give her, your diet and all these herbs that help to, like chase tree berry and number 1237 and raspberry leaf and nettles and oat straw and damiana and maca and alfalfa and red clover and false unicorn and saw palmetto. All of these herbs, they increase your ability to get pregnant. Then if you're making lifestyle changes, that's another report. And you're looking at that and you're making all these lifestyle changes and you're taking some of that Tahitian noni and then you are able to get pregnant. And guess what? That woman, for 17 years, it took her 1 year from the time she called me. And she called me up and she said, it's my birthday. And I said, well, that's great. Happy birthday. And she said, I got the best birthday present in the world. She said, after 17 years, I am pregnant. And she had a beautiful baby, and and her sister had lots of babies after that. And then they started telling all their friends, and then all their friends were calling me, and all of a sudden it was kind of funny and strange because all these women were saying, I'm pregnant, I'm pregnant. I told my friend and she's pregnant. I told my friend and she's pregnant. And it went on and on and on like that, and everybody was getting pregnant, and I was laughing. I was just laughing. I thought it was really hilarious. All these women were, because it worked so well. But anyway, it's because they used the number 1237 formula and the chase tree berry and the red raspberry leaf and the nettles and the oat straw and the damiana and the maca root from Peru and the alfalfa and the red clover, the false unicorn and the saw palmetto. They used those kinds of things. And then they went into that Make Lifestyle Changes report, and they made some Make Lifestyle Changes. And then they had this fantastic diet, and then they had all this energy and everything. And the original lady that called me, she left a testimonial. She left a testimonial on the herbalhealthreview.com, and she says, you don't remember me. But I do. I do remember her. She said that you helped me many, many years ago, and since then I have a big family now, lots of kids, and they're all grown up now and so forth, because it was 30 years ago. And so it was really cool, and because she connected with me again about 20 years later. She found me, and because the FDA chased me around and so much, so people were having a hard time finding out where I went and what my new telephone number was and so forth, because I had to move around a lot. But lately I don't have to move around a lot. They just don't attack me. Now they just attack my family. So, and the bad news for them is my granddaughter, her name is Brittany. She's just as tough as I am, and she can take all the harassment from these nasty Nazi FDA officials, and they come in and sit there and ask her for this report and that report. And she says, well, I already did it. Well, we need it again. And they just make you do this stuff over and over and over and over again, and you can't get any of your work done. And then they walk out laughing. Yeah, that's the FDA. Anyway, besides that, we're talking about women's health issues. What happens if you've had a problem with miscarriage? Guess what? In this formulation here, under women's health, there's a formulation here for miscarriage. It's a miscarriage formula. It provides the necessary nutrients for women going through miscarriage, and it supports proper uterine function. There's a daily pregnancy tonic tea. Any woman who is just found out she's pregnant wants to start drinking the daily pregnancy tonic tea. And because it's loaded with just the nutrients that you and baby need. It's toning and preparing for birth. Then, when it's 5 weeks before birth, you take a 5-week formula. It helps prepare the woman's body for an easier labor. and then if you to reduce labor pains, it helps to reduce labor pains and cramps related to pregnancy, and that's another formula. And all of these formulas, well, the miscarriage formula, you probably doesn't say miscarriage formula anymore, probably says 1312. Oh, and the daily pregnancy tonic tea probably doesn't say daily pregnancy tonic tea anymore, probably says 4230. And 4230, that's daily pregnancy tonic tea. And if you need to reduce labor pains, well, that's number 1366. And there you go. Oh, childbirth, 5 weeks, the 5 week before childbirth, that's number 1093. The And then let's take a brief look at fibroids, because that is a big problem with women's health. So you start by making Daily Health Tea, which is made with Pau de Arco. And you can get it a plain flavor, or you can get it tasting like raspberry, cinnamon, orange, and ginger, which is my favorite. So you take this Daily Health Tea, number 4160, and you drink 2 or 3 cups of that. And you would also add a couple of tablespoons of blackstrap molasses if there are fibroids. We're talking about how to use natural remedies when there are fibroids. The Daily Health Tea with Pau de Arco bark, number 4160. A couple of tablespoons of blackstrap molasses, organic, unsulfured. And red clover blossoms, number 3737. And milk thistle seed extract, number 3737. Both of them? I think there's a different number for that. I've got 2 numbers the same, so one of them is wrong. But that's all right. We'll find out. And if any of these things that you want, you can call 541-791-8400. So if you want some Tahitian noni, if you want any kind of an herbal product, if you have a question, they are there from 9 to 5, Monday through Friday at Better Health Herbs in Albany, Oregon. That's Health and Herbs. And the website is betterhealthherbs.com, and their phone number 541-791-8400. And fibroids, Daily Health Tea, red clover blossoms, and milk thistle seed powder or extract. Oh, and be sure and ask for Intramax. It is the greatest multiple vitamin mineral supplement on this planet. That's right. The best multiple vitamin is called Intramax, number 2302. Over 415 organic ingredients, including 80 vitamin sources, 33 super greens, 154 antioxidants, 62 fruits and vegetables, and a lot more. But we've come to the top of the hour, and we did have a good time.
Dr. Truman?
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
I have a quick question on honey. This is exactly. Do you have the molecule honey, the raw honey?
Yes, we do. That's what we use. And the Manuka raw honey is what we use in any of our products that say honey. It's raw, organic Manuka honey. Yeah.
Yes. Okay, good. And do you have any millet?
Do I have any what?
Millet, M-I-L-L.
Oh, okay. Millet is a grain that rebuilds the nervous system. And no, we don't handle grains, but you can call any kind of a Whole Foods store and get organic millet that rebuilds the nervous system and is great for anybody that has any kind of a nerve disorder. Okay. Any other?
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome. All praises to the Most High. And we've come to the top of the hour. I don't see a prophet Elijah today, so he's not able to be. I guess he wasn't able to make it today. So I'm going to end the broadcast now. Unless you have a question, I will stay on and answer your question. Does anyone out there have a question or a comment? I'll take that before we leave. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, hello.
Hello?
Yes,
Hello?
hello. Does anybody have a question?
Hello? Can anybody hear me?
Hello? Can anybody hear me? Hello?
Yes, I can hear you. I hear 2 or 3 people there. Let me know where you're calling from.
Let me jump in first, Dr. Truman.
Yes.
Just wanted with the strong fatigue. I've been in and out dealing with, life problems, but I've been on the line. But strategically, how to attack systemic candidate applicants, because it makes me feel I'm hearing, but I'm so fatigued and achy. But when I'm fasting, I feel so much better. I yield.
Yeah, that's that number 4675 acidophilus powder, and you're going to want to take about a half of a teaspoon morning and night for about a week. And then after that, all you need is about a quarter of a teaspoon every morning to keep it going. But that's the answer to Candida albicans. That's the main answer. If we have a real stubborn situation, we will use some grapefruit seed extract to kill off some of the bad guys there, and then use that acidophilus powder to rebuild all the good guys, and that'll do it. But we'll start with just the acidophilus powder, number 4675.
Okay, beautiful. And then I was telling you, Kelly was telling me about a Greek yogurt, but when I was in the store looking for Greek yogurt, I had no clue it was so many Greek yogurts, and it's like one specific. I think was I supposed to do organic? Because I think as the doctor, if I could put it in the yogurt, would that be suggested? If so, what Greek yogurt would you suggest?
Save your money on the Greek yogurt. Just use the acidophilus powder. You don't even need it. Well, if you've got if you've got the powder, you don't need the yogurt. As a matter of fact, the yogurt's just going to be dairy that'll kind of clog you up. But if you couldn't find any of this wonderful powder that we've used for about 2 decades, it's so great. We give it to babies. We give it to adults. It reestablishes your friendly bacteria. And that's number 4675. That's all you need.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate that. Thank you. Dr. Truman. Thank you.
Yes. Shalom. We're still going. Does anybody have any other question? I want to make sure and help everybody. Does anybody else have a question?
Hello?
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, this is Derek McLean. I talked to you the other day about the diabetes situation.
Yes, Derek.
Yes. I ordered, I think it may be tomorrow, but I just wanted to make a comment to say I learned so much today with the conference, and just so praise to the Most High for everything, and I really believe, in everything with the herbs and everything the Most High provided for all of us, and I just don't know what to say, man.
I understand exactly what you're saying, brother, and it's wonderful to find a group of people like this that care about each other and that are searching for some answers, and then when they find it, they're glad to share it with other people, and that we want to see that you get past that diabetes. And it's up to the Most High. The Most High does the healing, but we just talk about the natural remedies, and the two seem to work together really good. Wouldn't you think so?
Oh, yes, sir.
So I encourage you to when you get the glucose balance capsules and the diabetes herbal tea and that gland rejuvenator, get on those. And maybe even get some of that chromium, because the chromium is inexpensive, and almost every diabetic is deficient in that mineral chromium, and it's inexpensive. So about 4 things will really get you on the road to no more diabetes. And again, that's the diabetes glucose balance capsules, the gland rejuvenator, the diabetes herbal tea or tincture extract, and the inexpensive mineral called chromium. And when you get on those, and just stay with us here, let us know how you're doing, and we encourage you to keep the faith and give all praises to the Most High for the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In the name of Yeshua, our Savior, a big so be it.
Yes, so and I believe, and I want to say I know, because I believe so much. I just know it's going to work because my faith,
Yes, well, by your faith you're healed, brother. Okay. All right. Well, we come to the top of the hour. Again, we want to make sure that everybody has a chance to ask a question or have, if they've got something to say, please say it. Is there anybody else before we go? Please speak up now. And that looks like we're down the trail. So, this is Bishop Dr. Truman Burst for Discoveries in Health, here every Thursday, praising the Most High and talking about natural remedies for the glory and for the victory of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. In the name of Jesus Christ, our Savior, Yeshua. All praises to the Most High, Heya, and we'll talk with you again next week. So be it.